Welcome back. It's Southern Fried Football time with Mark Packer. Hi.
You know what's great? First of all, great. Awesome. You know what I'm excited about?
Yes.
Right here.
This?
The big screen. We are away from the kiddie table.
Yes.
And we're back to the big screen.
You're at the big boys table now, so you got to really step it up.
And I noticed that John Carter's nowhere to be found in this segment. A week ago, I heard a lot of chirping, right? A lot of chirping
about
from the boys
Clemson.
in Boone.
Yep. Clemson taking on Appalachian State last weekend, and we know how that came out.
My wife left in the first quarter. She did.
Well, maybe they got Clemson ready for last night, taking on Louisville.
Perhaps the Tigers were exhausted from all the kickoffs from last week because they were holding on for dear life last night.
They
knocking
were.
off Louisville. It might be low, but it's true. There's a kickoff return right there, 100-yarder last night.
Yards.
Clemson holding on for dear life.
Okay.
Knocks off Louisville.
Hey.
A big blackout in Louisville.
And they're undefeated now, Clemson, right?
Tigers are 3-0, and their next game is Notre Dame, which could be the perfect segue.
Yeah, the perfect segue into Notre Dame taking on Georgia Tech. This is a big one. They shouldn't sleep on Tech, Notre Dame.
Listen,
they're both trying to be in that national conversation.
I'm not so sure that Georgia Tech may not be the best team in the ACC. This is a huge game.
Yeah.
And of course, last week, Malik Zaire goes out for the year for Notre Dame.
Right.
Big game, the Golden Dome. This game, of course, famous for Rudy.
Oh,
right?
yes.
That was Georgia Tech, Notre Dame. But
yes, you're right.
Georgia Tech is awfully good. I'll see if Notre Dame can bounce back with that big loss of their quarterback last week.
Right. They got him at home, though, Notre Dame,
In
right?
South
So
Bend.
we'll see what happens there. Let's talk a little SEC love right now.
Of course.
Georgia taking on South Carolina.
I told you last week not to worry.
You did. But I worried.
You always worry. This week, the head ball coach is coming between the hedges.
Right.
He has beaten Georgia 4 of the last 5 times. What I'm trying to tell you is, don't worry. Georgia is going to beat South Carolina.
Okay.
The Gamecocks have a lot of work ahead of them.
It seems like every time we play South Carolina, it doesn't matter whether they're ranked or not, they play us like they're the #1 team in the country.
I understand. It's a red out in Athens tomorrow. Mm-hmm. No problem.
No problem?
Dogs win tomorrow.
Okay, we'll take it. A huge SEC game I'm looking forward to. Auburn taking on LSU.
Auburn, LSU, the Battle of the Tigers. The last time Auburn won in Tiger Stadium, I don't call it Death Valley. There's only one Death Valley. It's in Clemson. But in Tiger Stadium, the last time Auburn won there, 1999. Go
Okay.
figure. Jimmy Johnson has struggled as a quarterback for Auburn. We'll see what happens tomorrow. It's a big game. But it's an afternoon game. It's at 3:30. Under the lights, Tiger Stadium's crazy. And today, it's a little different.
Okay.
Could be a good one, though.
Hey, Hottie Toddy trying to roll over the Tide in Tuscaloosa.
Let me tell you something. Ole Miss has beaten Alabama one time ever. Once.
Yeah.
1988 is the only time Ole Miss has ever beaten Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Once. They beat them last year. I think this is going to be a really entertaining game. Ole Miss can play.
Ole Miss can play, and I was reading on ESPN and their FPI index. Ole Miss has the top 10 defense, top 10 offense. They've got them ranked #1 according to this index.
There's a bunch of Sunday players on both sides.
Yeah.
Again, it's all about quarterback play. Chad Kelly, a kid that started at Clemson,
Yeah.
is now transferred to Ole Miss. You see him right there. I'm curious to see how he responds in front of 105,000 tomorrow in Tuscaloosa.
On
tomorrow night. Should be a great game.
national television on that one. Okay, so we covered some of our ACC, SEC games. Let's talk about Ohio State, the Buckeyes.
Well, there must be some
give
Buckeye pull at this station.
Well,
right?
you know,
there's got to be some Buckeye
Jamie
pull.
Bowl gives me a hard time. He says we only talk about SEC, ACC. There's a little SEC hate there, I think, too. But
is it hate or jealousy? No, from you, it's jealousy, right?
Well, I guess so. But Big Ten in conference play really doesn't. What ranked teams is Ohio State going to be playing for the next
you're
several
giving
weeks?
me a little Brett Bielema from last week, the Arkansas coach running his mouth about, hey, we got to play 8 ranked teams. Ohio State only has to play 1, and he goes out and loses to Toledo.
Toledo, I
so
know.
Go figure. Listen, the Buckeyes are loaded, but they're playing a good football team tomorrow. Northern Illinois has a terrific program, but again, Ohio State, too much talent. They are the best team in America.
What about BYU here?
Like them?
Yes.
I think they're going down at UCLA.
You do.
Top
UCLA is a
20
good team.
Really
so, I don't know. That Hail Mary, maybe.
They've been
right in
living
there.
a charmed life, those folks at BYU. I think this is a very entertaining game. Again, we got a bunch of top 20 matchups. That's the best game out west.
The best game out west, BYU. Okay, so any other games you're looking forward to before we...
How about tonight? We have Florida State on the road to Boston College.
That's
This is a big,
right.
This is a big weekend for the ACC. Clemson on the road, found a way to win. Florida State on the road, we'll see if they win tonight. Georgia Tech on the road tomorrow against Notre, which we talked about. Then we got 5 ACC Big Ten matchups this weekend. This is a pressure weekend for the ACC to deliver. That's why it was important for Clemson to win last night.
Okay, so what do you think? Who's the power conference in football so far? Here we are in week 3.
Wait a minute. Do you see what this says? It says
I know,
Southern
I
Fried
know.
Football.
Okay,
you think
so
I'm going to sit there and beat my chest about the Pac-12 or the Big Ten, even if it were true? No, the SEC still is the best league in college football.
Okay,
but it's
you
early.
heard it.
It's early.
It's only week 3. I know we've got several weeks to go here, so we'll see how things pan out.
And I guarantee App State will not lose this weekend.
That's right. They won't.
Carter, get Carter in here. I felt so bad for him last week when it was 31-0 at halftime.
It was 3-0 in the first quarter. They were scared. I'm going to tell you what. They were scared.
We'll be back.